Guten Tag, friends. It's Miles here. I'm with Bob. It's the game with no halves. How you doing, Bob?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's Germany, isn't it?
Took you a sec. Yeah.
It did take me a moment.
I know. I thought I'd introduce everybody in German, seeing as the Euros have begun.
Yes.
I figured, we'd get in there. Oh, actually, it's Guten Morgen for us right now because it's we're doing an early morning recording session.
That's probably why I was a bit slow on the uptake.
Right, yeah. But we thought today we could do a bit of a Euro special now that the Euros have begun.
Yeah.
We're going to be going into some of what's been going on in the real world, but also, obviously, at the minute, we're in the 2010 to 11 season. So we're going to kind of see the history of North London and their Euros participation with the players that they've had in and the players that they've got in the current squad that are playing in the Euros right now, Bob. But
yeah, because there are some unusual inclusions in national teams from the North London squad. I mean, just one example, for example, Chiesa.
Yeah.
Italian, who's on the fringe
Chiesa.
Of the first team. He does come on regularly as a sub.
For North London.
Right. But he's not in the regular team, the regular starting 11.
Yeah.
But he's playing well for Italy.
Yeah, well, he is a good player. He plays for Juventus.
Well, that's why I signed him.
Well, of course. Yeah, clearly. But we thought, now the Euros have started, we could delve into that a little bit. Our Premier League goal scorers quiz that we do every week as well, we're going to have as a Euro special. So it's going to have to be players that are in the Euros of this year, Bob, Euro 2024. So keep that in your head when you're thinking of players to include. But how have you been in the meantime since we last spoke?
I've been good. I was I had a really lovely weekend. I went to the Beardy Folk Festival.
Nice.
And it was great. I loved it. It was in the grounds of a manor house in Shropshire, not far from Worcester. And the ground sort of sloped downwards. It was like a natural amphitheatre within this walled garden next to the main house.
Cool.
I mean, the views and the setting was just absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
And I saw some great bands play there.
How many people were there, would you say, altogether?
About 2,000 people there, Miles.
Okay.
And one of the groups that I saw was the Rosellis.
Okay.
Do you know them? Have you heard of them?
Have I?
The Rosellis.
Possibly.
Yeah, they're
how do you spell it? RosellY. Yeah, I think I have heard of them.
Yeah. They're lovely. Really, really lovely music. And it's a family group and very sort of country, Americana kind of music.
Yeah.
But they were playing soon after I arrived and they were great. So I was very pleased to meet them. I did a chat with a guy called Martin Stevenson, who I've known for absolutely years. He's got a great band called The Dainties that I've been playing on the radio since the 90s, actually.
Dainties since the 90s.
Yeah, The Dainties in the 90s. And so, yeah, it was really good. I loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was me.
And that was on Father's Day, wasn't it? So you spent your day away from your children.
That was on
with some
Father's
bearded
Day.
men at a folk festival, by the sounds of it.
Yes, that's right. But we're going to get together next weekend, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're going to have a belated Father's Day thing. And of course, it's the cats. The cats are dominating my two new cats. And I've got names for them now.
Yeah.
I've decided.
You haven't gone for Freddie and Haynes then?
No, I haven't gone with Freddie and Haynes.
That's a shame.
No.
They could be the middle names, maybe.
Yeah. That's so the boy is Ryman.
Yeah, which obviously is after the Ryman Auditorium, I guess.
Yes, indeed. Somebody said, "Why have you named your
stationers
cat after a chain of stationery shops?"
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that.
No,
but it's the Ryman.
Slightly different connotation, I suppose.
Yeah, even so, I don't mind. Ryman. No. Ryman is a good, strong name.
It is a strong name, yeah.
So, and then I thought. So somebody actually on my Instagram suggested that the name for the girl should be Reason. So it would be Rhyme and Reason.
Okay, very good, very good.
And there's been a lot of other suggestions along the lines of Dolly or Shania but actually I've gone for Harmony. That's the girl's name, Harmony, because I was thinking about something that matches with the Ryman, all the voices on stage there.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's got several connotations. Obviously, the two of them, they absolutely are so in sync and in harmony with each other. It's quite amazing to see two animals that are so tuned into each other. They've been together since they were sort of more or less both born.
Yeah.
And they talk to each other quite a lot. I posted some film on my Instagram, at Whispering Bob, of the two of them in the sitting room with me the other evening. They're still not they're still very wary, and I still haven't completely won them over yet. But for some reason, the other night, they both got onto the chair next to me, and it's just, have a look at my Instagram. It's so beautiful. The two of them are lovely. So that's my big project. And everybody says it's going to take me a few weeks before they completely settle in, and I think that's true. But I'm loving having them
Harmony
around.
and Ryman.
Harmony and Ryman.
There you go. Maybe they're going to be drafted into the North London team at some point.
Yes.
Seeing as Colby used to play a little bit, didn't he, in goal?
Colby was the sweeper.
Yeah.
In the hallway. Seriously, Colby used to join in the matches. And he used to position himself just in front of the goal. So he's either the goalie or the sweeper.
Tough man to get past, isn't he, old Colby?
He absolutely was. He could dive and catch the ball in his claws.
Yeah.
So,
well, very good indeed. And obviously, the Euros have begun. England started. I mean, we got the win. It was okay. The first half was really good, and I thought Jude Bellingham was brilliant.
Yeah.
Second half went a bit flat, but a win is a win. And at the early stages, all you need to do is pick up those wins, gain some momentum. I'm not feeling too dispirited by everything, so far, because look at Belgium last night, or I suppose 2 nights ago when this goes out, but really damaging loss for them. And I don't think France looked 100% either.
No, they didn't. And they've lost Mbappe for sure.
His nose looked screwed, didn't it? Did you see it? The whole bridge of it was moved completely to one side.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know. I can't see him playing. Certainly not in the group games again. Can you?
Well, they said. I think they said that he'll definitely miss the next one. I mean, he'll probably wear a mask, which is going to be funny because he's going to look even more like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle when he's wearing that mask. So it's interesting. It's all wide open. I mean, Germany obviously smashed it in their first game. I was actually, since we last spoke, I was shooting at a German beer house, or beer Keller, it was called, in London for the opening game of the Euros.
Yes.
Germany, Scotland. A lot of.
Did you have people holding about 72 glasses of beer?
Yeah, no, literally. Actually, that did happen sometimes. The big steins.
Yes.
It was a really good place, actually. Bermondsey Beer Keller, it was called.
Okay.
Highly recommended for going to watch some football. You can play table football, there's pool, there's like shuffleboard, there's dartsboard. You can go axe throwing.
Axe throwing?
Yeah. They do axe throwing. And they've got it's really big. I mean, it must be able to fit a few hundred people in there. And there's two sort of big, it's underground. And there's two kind of big. I guess there probably would have been tunnels at some point, rounded ceilings with wooden benches all the way along, and showing the games. They serve German sausage.
Throwing.
Yeah, the axe throwing wasn't on wisely, I think, whilst the game was going on. But lots of desolate Scottish fans by the end of the night. Unfortunately,
that was awful to watch.
I know.
But I mean, I must be honest. Okay, so. The first 25, 30 minutes of the England game, this is the way that I think everybody would like to see them play. So what happened? They went so flat.
It's weird,
and what's weird and not great is the fact that in the last 5 games, do you know how many goals England have scored in their last 5 games?
It's less than one a game, isn't it?
3.
Yeah.
Okay, they've had 5 clean sheets, but with the attacking talent we've got, it almost should be the other way around. Letting in goals, but scoring loads more. And what worries me in the friendly as well, when we lost 1-0, and it was such a terrible performance. What is it about the team or about the management or about the attitude where they're not going, right, let's just go out there and express ourselves.
Let's just let them loose.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting the right balance, and I think already he must be regretting not taking Marcus Rashford.
I think so too, yeah.
Because he didn't take Jack Grealish.
No.
So who's playing on the left exactly? Well, Phil Foden doesn't look comfortable there.
No,
he doesn't, does he?
No, because he played there against Iceland and also obviously against Serbia, and he played the full 90 minutes against Serbia, didn't he? And he kept drifting inside, which is fine, I think, if you've got a left-footed left back coming outside.
Well, Luke Shaw obviously.
That's what I mean. But I think with Kieran Trippier and him down the left, I don't think it necessarily works out because obviously Trippier is very right-footed.
Yes.
So he's going to always want to cut back inside.
Yes.
And so that means that there's always going to be an overload going inside. I think once Luke Shaw's back, I think it will provide a bit more.
But if
balance.
It's not Phil Foden there, who is it?
Anthony Gordon, isn't it? Who's going to play on the left hand side. It's funny. I personally, I would have taken Marcus Rashford because even a Marcus Rashford not on form, which he hasn't been at his best for a little while, he still offers something that nobody else in the England squad has got, I think. And that's that pace and penetration and being able to whip a shot in from 30 yards out of nowhere, which he's done a few times for England. And I don't think anybody else on that left-hand side can do that right now, but I'm happy to be proved wrong.
Yeah. But certainly a more positive, go for them attitude.
Lovely. One of the positive things about that, it was lovely to see Colby Mainoo make his full debut.
But even that, I mean, the Chelsea player.
Cole Palmer.
No.
Gallagher.
Gallagher. He seems to have a preference, doesn't he, for Gallagher?
Well, I actually think Gallagher did quite well when he came on. He added that energy and determination and stuff in the middle.
But it's a relatively negative substitution. Don't you think?
I suppose so. But
he's not going to go herring through the middle and score from 30 yards, is he? I mean,
no, I suppose not. But I think it's still early on we're bedding in. We've got 3 points. Really now a draw and we're through. So we've got plenty of time for us to come good, and I'm feeling all right about everything. To be honest.
I tell you what though, the Germany looked fabulous. I thought.
Yeah, they did.
Really,
on home soil as well. And actually,
amazing,
a lot of people have been saying that their squad's not as strong as it has been in recent years with Germany, but at home Euros, and actually, they've got some brilliant. I think Florian Wirtz is a great player. Obviously, you're a big Jamal Musiala fan, aren't you?
Musiala, you see, Musiala. Am I right about Musiala? I mean, he set alight the season for North London this year. He really, really did. I mean, whenever something special was needed, we looked to Musiala and he would provide it. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be one of the real stars of the tournament.
Yeah, I do. It's a shame he chose Germany over England, isn't it? Because he played for England at youth level.
He did. Under 21s even.
Yeah. Although, imagine, he'd actually probably fit in quite well on the left-hand side for England. Wouldn't he?
He'd be perfect. Oh my God.
But then you're dropping Phil Foden, which is unfair because he's had such a brilliant season. Anyway, conundrums.
Yes.
So where we left off last episode then, Bob, obviously we were halfway through the 2010 to 2011 season, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Okay.
So let's recap where things were. So the final game of 2010 actually was a bit of a drab 0-0.
Yes, it was.
Rovers.
And just to recap, I mean, I know that for people who watch us and listen very regularly, I've heard us say this a number of times, but, we're having new people join us in big numbers every week. Mm-hmm. So just to explain, if you're new to what this is, the podcast is based around a fictitious team called North London.
It is.
Well, I say fictitious. They are very real in my head because for the last 35 years, I've been kicking a foam football around the house here. Playing games.
The way I've started to describe it is it's a little bit like a Subbuteo game, but in real life, isn't it? Kind of.
Yeah.
In a funny way. I think that's the way to visualize it best. By the way, a total... what's the word I'm looking for here? When you go off on a tangent,
yes,
total tangent.
You digress.
I saw a brilliant video. You might have seen it if you're into football Twitter, which I am a lot. There was a great video of there's obviously a competitive Subbuteo league in Italy.
Oh right.
And there was a video with somebody scoring quite a well-taken goal, to be fair.
Yes.
With a Subbuteo thing. But this guy went fucking mad. He's going like, yes! And just flicking little Subbuteo players around the pitch. I thought it was really good.
Well, anyway. Every now and again, because the thing is, I would make stats of all the matches that I played.
Yeah.
I put a piece of paper on the kitchen table, and as I play the matches and score the goals, I write down all the detail. And I've been keeping the stats of this for 35 years now.
Yeah.
And so here we are. So that's the basis of the podcast, that we look back over the seasons that I played as North London around the house with all the players in the team and everything else.
I know. So that's where we're at. So each episode we go through a different season. We're kind of working through it chronologically, and we've got all the way up until 2010, 2011. And we left it last episode halfway through the season. So at the turn of the year, Bob, you are in first. 2 points ahead of Man United in second, who are level on points with City, but you and they have both got 2 games in hand. So it's looking a little bit like a 2-horse race for now.
Okay. The other thing I do is, by the way, I take the fixtures of one of the promoted teams. That's my fixture list for the season, and I play through those fixtures because these are teams that almost certainly won't finish in the top 6, so they won't sort of affect the table because I normally notate the top 6, and I put North London into the top 6, corresponding to our results.
Yeah.
The rest of the top 6 is the way that it is in real.
And obviously, you don't need to worry about anything lower than top 6 because you're never going to finish lower than that, are you, Bob?
No.
Of course.
I haven't finished outside the top 3 since probably about 1994.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So very successful tenure. It's been in charge of North London.
Yes.
So the first fixture of 2011 then, Bob, is at home against Fulham.
Okay.
2-1 win, David Villa and Alexandra Pato.
Right.
Bob also makes notes of the games, which is just so hilariously brilliant. When Villa gives team early lead, it seems North London could go on and win comfortably. But Fulham play excellent attacking game. Hit woodwork 5 times.
Whoa.
Fulham goal is only second
5
conceded in the
times.
past 9 Premiership games, so you're defensively solid this year.
Yeah.
Following that up with a 1-0 win against Everton at home, Dylan, my brother, with a goal.
Yes.
And then a 2-2 draw away at Old Trafford, where Ozil and Hofland from a corner kick score your goals. Not a bad result, really, I guess, 2-2 away, which means you're still 2 points ahead of Man United, played the same amount of games, and they are still level on City, having played 2 games more than both of you. So we're in exactly the same position we were 3 games ago, to be honest.
I quite often hit the woodwork because if you see the goals that I'm aiming at around
the
around
legs
the
are really
house,
chunky, aren't they?
The legs are really wide. The goal in the hallway, which is a low coffee table, basically.
Yeah.
The crossbar is about this big. So I'm going to hit it lots.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes when I'm in a really good kind of space, I use the crossbar as a defender and pass back to them, and then it bounces back up to launch an attack.
It's like doing an alley-oop in basketball or something, isn't it, where they throw the ball off the backboard and then someone comes in and slam dunks it.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very good. Well, the fourth official is holding up his board, and it looks like we're about to approach the half-time break, Bob. So we better hear from our sponsors.
Yeah, no injuries at half-time, so we'll be back after the half-time interval.
So every week on the show, what we've been doing is playing a game that me and a couple of mates founded on a drunken night out, which is guessing how many goals exactly somebody scored in the Premier League. And we said that we would do it with current North London players who are playing in the Euros.
I'm so bad at this. We've played this 5 times now, I think it is.
Yeah, possibly.
And the score at the moment, Miles 5, Bob 0.
So the way it works basically is one of us will pick a player.
Yes.
And then we have to guess exactly how many goals they've scored in the Premier League. If you get it bang on, you get 3 points. And that's only happened once the entire time, hasn't it, I think?
Yes.
And if you...
Rude Van Nistelrooy, he'd scored 56.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were 1 goal either side,
I said 55 and you said 57.
Yeah.
That's
Although
the closest.
we were playing a Champions League also, that weren't we? Anyway.
Yeah.
3 points if you get it bang on. Otherwise, the person who's closest gets a point. So Bob, for this edition of the Premier League goal scorers quiz,
okay,
what we're going to do is these are all the various stats that Bob's going
just
through.
Mad, isn't it?
Jesus. What we're going to do is we're going to choose players that are currently playing at Euro 2024, Bob.
Yes.
Who have played in the Premier League at some point.
Okay.
And we've got to guess how many goals they've scored in the Premier League throughout their career.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So
now let's think. So
if we make a list for it's Harry Kane, obviously.
Kane can give you a good one to start with if you want to.
Yeah,
go
he
with
is.
Go on then.
Okay.
So all right. So if we're going Kane, how many Premier League goals has he scored exactly? Obviously, he's going to be high up, isn't he?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go 134. We don't research this, although I must be honest, I'm thinking about
maybe you should start revising.
Doing a bit of sneaky research. So I can beat Miles for 1 at least.
Yeah. So I think he must have scored more than that because I think he's second behind Alan Shearer right now, and Alan Shearer scored like 260 something, hasn't he?
Oh my God. Really?
So
no.
I think Kane has scored. Oh, it's whether it's over 200 or not. I think.
No, don't.
I'm going to say maybe 203. Let's try that.
Go for it.
Okay.
So it's one of us that is the closest that gets the point.
Yeah. So what I do is I go on to the Premier League website and look at the player, and it'll tell us exactly. He has scored 213 Premier League goals, Bob.
It's 1 0.
unfortunately. 200. I mean, what a record,
Why am
though.
I so hopeless?
320 appearances, 213 goals. It's pretty special, isn't it?
I need help.
His record is amazing. In terms of,
It really is.
since he broke into the first team at Spurs, he scored 21, 25, 29, 30, 17, 18, 23, 17, and 30.
Oh my God.
That's an incredible record, isn't it?
That is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there we go. So that's 1-0 to me in the Premier League goal scorers quiz.
Yes.
Hopefully he scores a few more goals for England. Although
Well, it was interesting, wasn't it, that he played absolutely the number 9 role.
he did. I thought he was dropping a bit too deep though for that formation, because especially in the second half, there was times where he was sort of halfway into our own half, and we didn't have an out ball at all ever, because he does like to do that. He's so good at passing and
Yes, he
playmaking and
is.
stuff.
He
Isn't
knits the play together. Because that was another thing that struck me about the second half performance. It was uncharacteristic in so much as the lineup, the way that Gareth Southgate was asking the team to play just didn't seem like the normal way of asking this team to play, particularly, you know, with because Harry Kane touched the ball once in the first 35 minutes,
Yeah,
didn't he?
I know, it's crazy.
Now, normally he would be right setting with runners going past him. And once you've got runners breaking the line and going past the player in possession, then you look dangerous, which is what Germany were doing. Time after time, they were going past, they were breaking the line, in other words. So with the player running on, the player with the ball can pick that player out moving at speed. And if you get this right, if you thread it through, as Germany did a couple of times, you've got a player coming right in on goal.
Yeah, I know.
You know, this is what Cantona used to do so brilliantly for Man United. That final ball that penetrated, broke the line.
Yeah.
And, you know, and England didn't seem to be set up to create that kind of chance.
What I think is the reasoning behind playing Trent in midfield is for his ability to be able to do that at certain times, I think, and unlock the defence a bit.
But then again, you've got somebody who isn't used completely to playing in that position.
I think he'll do well there, though. I've said for a while, I think he's a good.
What, even more
midfielder.
than Cobby?
Well, Cobby obviously is brilliant, but I can see why he might start Trent, because Cobby's 19. You know, it's his first major tournament. I think what I'm hoping basically is that we get another win against. Is it Switzerland we've got next?
Yes, I think so. Who looked quite useful, actually.
Yeah, but we get another win there, and then basically we've got carte blanche on the third game to give players like Cobby and you know, Cole Palmer and maybe Anthony Gordon and players like that run out and to see how they get in, and maybe hopefully Luke Shaw if he's back from injury.
Yeah.
So then, Father. So yes, end of January leaves you with a game at home against Bolton Wanderers.
Okay,
it's a 1-1 draw. Fernando Torres saves you in the 84th minute.
Is this the Bolton Wanderers of Big Sam?
This would have been 2010, 2011?
That was that Sam Allardyce as the manager, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe.
At that point?
Yeah, possibly.
Shall I look it up?
Yeah, I'm sure he probably was. In fact,
I think he probably was.
I'll have a look now. Sam Allardyce.
Okay, you have a look. Yeah.
Good. I mean, a good, tough to beat team.
They were. They're very, very physical.
But also, they had some great players.
Yeah.
JJ Okocha.
Yeah.
They had Ivan Campo. They had Fernando Hierro for a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kevin Davies from him.
Yes. Oh, Kevin Davies, blimey.
Yeah. They had Nicholas Anelka for a time as well.
Yes,
didn't
they did.
Here we go. So Bolton. Blah blah blah. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Blackburn.
I mean,
Bolton. No, this is post Big Sam.
Oh, is it?
He was at Blackburn at this point in time.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah.
who's the manager at Bolton then?
Hold on. Let me see. Bolton. If I type in Bolton manager 2010.
Yes.
Take a guess, Bob. Who do you reckon it is?
Oh gosh, I've no idea.
It's going to be something like Gary Megson or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Right, if I get this. Owen Coyle was the manager of Bolton in 2010-2011.
Owen Coyle.
Bloody hell. That's
Whatever
a name
happened
for a
to
while.
Owen Coyle?
Yeah.
Owen Coyle, if you're watching or listening.
Yeah, let us know what you're doing. Oh, well, actually, it says here, managerial career.
Yes.
He's currently managing at Chennaiyin FC, who are based in India, the Indian Super League.
Oh, okay, Owen. Well,
so yes, Chennaiyin. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Chennaiyin Football Club, managed by Owen Coyle. Who
go for it, Owen.
Yeah, they finished in the Indian Super League 6 out of 12. apparently this season. So mid. That is, I can't think of there's not many people who would have looked that up in recent times. I imagine. But
I doubt it.
A little bit of
That's a good
there.
quiz question.
Yeah,
it
is. Who's Owen Coyle currently manage?
Yeah,
that is a good quiz question.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
no, but I think with Bolton, one of the things there is a chink in the North London armour.
Okay.
Because we don't play well against long ball teams, big physical long ball teams. They are the teams that always give us the most amount of trouble. Yeah. Big, centre halves.
So Serbia might have provided a bit of a problem for North London as well. If they play them.
It's possible. Yeah, because anything really physical, big number 6s, big number 9s.
Which I mean, they're a big team, aren't they? So like you've got Mitrovic up front.
Yeah.
There's also Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, who's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Vlahovic as well plays for Juventus up front. He's a big lad. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So one more draw is not a bad result,
not
really.
Bad.
Then away at Craven Cottage, 3-0. Torres with 2. Dylan from a corner kick.
Right.
And then a game away at Anfield.
Yeah.
Which is typically the game that you win, judging by previous seasons. And you've done it again, 2-1. Freddie Haynes and Riquelme.
Those two of my all-time favourite players.
Via brilliant in superb display, launched by Haynes, 30-yard wonder strike.
Wonder strike, yes. And the
brilliant.
thing is, honestly, when I'd built up a move in this match, say, and it finishes with Freddie Haynes having come from centre-back, right, to attack.
So is he
and
what
is one of the talking points of the Euros? Attacking centre-backs,
right?
No, seriously.
Well, I digressing slightly from this, but one of my favourites, and I've always really liked him for Newcastle, is Fabian Schär. And he's Swiss. Yeah. I think he's really good. He had an amazing run in the first game and almost ended up in a goal. But out of the Freddie Haynes textbook by the sounds of things.
Yeah. So I would have, if I had set this move up and then I was Freddie Haynes coming from the back, I would have run about 60 yards onto this ball and hammered it into the top corner, no doubt. I would have been absolutely just going really my celebration.
It's exactly the same as when you score a banger on FIFA almost, or when you're playing five-a-side or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I'm playing later on today. Actually, I've got some new boots for five-a-side, Bob. Well,
have you?
Some new AstroTurf, not on right now, but
there's some new boots behind us on.
Well, they're new old boots. These ones, for those of you not watching, I love vintage retro vibes, especially with football. And I found these are old red Nike Mercurial Vapors from about this time actually, Bob.
Okay.
From about 2010.
Yes.
Maybe a bit earlier, which is just like I just loved those boots, and I bought them on Vinted, and I wore them once and they are literally just falling apart. Unfortunately, they're so old. So I love them, but I fear if I wear them anymore, they are just going to tear themselves to shreds. I've tried using shoe adhesive on them even to make them stick together, and it's not worked. So I thought they'd provide a good backdrop. So they're behind us now on the shelf.
And I found this Pele autobiography as well. I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see that?
Possibly, but either way, he's back there watching over us. He would have been a good sign.
Yes.
So
Fulham 3-0
and Liverpool 2-1 with a 30-yard one straight from good old Freddie Haynes. So you're now 3 points clear at the top of the table over United, but they do have a game in hand.
Okay.
So it's still looking very tight.
Yes.
As things are happening here. I'm thinking of the United team from this time. Dimitar Berbatov and people like that. It would have been his good season around this
Nani
sort of
would
time.
still be around, wouldn't he? Ryan Giggs would be on the left. Well, actually, by this time, Ryan Giggs had gone back into midfield.
Yeah, obviously Ronaldo's already gone, so
Rooney would still be there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Chicharito might be around.
Chicharito.
I loved Chicharito.
Same. And did you see Sir Alex Ferguson's message?
Yeah, when he went, he's gone back to Chivas.
Yeah.
I loved Chicharito. I wish we'd kept him for longer. But as soon as Fergie went, you could tell, and it was Van Gaal particularly, wasn't it? We've had this conversation on here before.
Yeah.
He just wasn't Van Gaal's player, which I was sad about.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of random Premier League players, then Bob, let's go back to the Premier League goal scorers quiz. So you went for Harry Kane.
Yes.
So somebody that's currently playing in the Euros.
Yeah.
And how many goals they might have scored in the Premier League. I'm going to think about this.
Okay.
Because let's think of the bigger teams. Well, okay. Dutch captain Virgil van Dijk. How many Premier League goals do you reckon he scored?
15.
Yeah, that's a good guess, actually, I think. This is tough. I picked a tough one for myself. 15. Yeah, I might go slightly less. I reckon I'm going to go 11. I'm going to go. All right?
Yes.
Ready? Virgil van Dijk. has scored
22.
22.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, here I come now.
Right.
I'm coming down on the fence. Here I am. Look, on the inside, I'm going to overtake you and win this week.
Okay.
My first victory.
22 goals is not
That's
bad,
not bad,
is it? That's really not
bad.
Yeah, scored 2 this season just gone. His best scoring season was 29-20, where he scored 5.
Right.
That 264 appearances, 22 goals. That's not bad as a centre back, is it? Really?
All.
Fair play. Okay, so 1-1 it is, Bob, in the goal scorers quiz. Yes. Congratulations.
Mind you, I've been 1-1 before.
So then we're going through to a home game against Sunderland next, Bob.
Okay.
3-2. Big result. A Riquelme hat-trick.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Riquelme, I think he was my best signing ever. I really do think so.
Yeah.
Made some great signings through the years, but Riquelme.
Best signing ever.
Yeah.
That's a shout.
I caught him at just the right time.
Yeah.
Argentina had rejected him for the national team. He didn't really have a club that was looking after him. I said, come to North London. I'm going to put you centre stage. We're going to look after you. Just let you express yourself. And he felt really wanted. And he came to us and he was brilliant.
Yeah, fair play. Well,
absolutely
a hat-trick in that
brilliant.
game. And then Birmingham City at home ends 1-1. Riquelme saving you there as well with a goal. It says here, Barnard. Oh, Ben Barnard. Barnard makes first Premiership start in much changed team, which takes time to gel. Dearie me. So Ben. This is so funny because obviously Bob includes academy prospects in inverted commas in his team.
Yes.
And Ben Barnard is an old childhood friend of us, particularly my sister Flo.
Yes.
And his dad, Mark Barnard,
is the goalie.
Yeah. Well, they're playing in the same team, so there's a father and son starting together. So Mark Barnard's in goal with Ben Barnard at right back.
Yeah, so what is the team actually at the moment?
Barnard.
Yes.
Barnard. Yes. Hoffland and David Luiz at centre back with David Bennett left back.
Yes.
Schweinsteiger and Hummels in defensive mid, so a German partnership going on there.
Yes.
Pato, Riquelme and Ian Giggs with Sam Toklov up front.
Yes.
So that was that. Sam Toklov.
Sam Toklov.
Yeah.
Gosh, it is a much changed team.
It is. Yeah. And then home game against West Brom, 1-0 win. So not scoring loads of goals recently, but 1-0 win against West Brom keeps you top of the table by a single point over Manchester United.
Have they still got a game in hand?
No. So everyone's played the same amount of games. So you're on 61 points.
Yep.
United are on 60. And
so how many games now to go?
So you've played 27, so 9 games left. And then Arsenal
right.
are back on 56. So it looks like they're out of the running as it stands, really.
Yeah. Isn't it 12 games left?
Sorry?
27, isn't it? 12 games left.
Oh, 11 games.
11 games.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Between us, Miles.
I know. Well, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about the, I think I was possibly thinking about a team, a league where there's one less team. It's probably the Indian Premier League, Bob, seeing as we're just talking about that. No, not really. Anyway, so we haven't looked at the European results in a little bit, have we?
Have you got those there?
I have.
Go on then.
Would you like to hear about them, Bob?
Yes, please.
So
I'm fascinated as to how, because I obviously now these matches I played 15 years ago, 14 years ago.
I know.
So I don't remember the detail of these games. So as Miles is going back over the stats,
you're reminiscing.
Yeah.
So let's recap where we were. So you finished top of the league table, Bob, in the group stage. With 10 points, which left you in the last 16 against Inter.
Right.
The first leg was a 0-0. The second leg was a 4-0 home win for you. Bennett, Haynes, Toklov and an own goal, which set you up with a quarter-final against Schalke.
Okay.
Very topical, seeing as I think their stadium is one of the stadiums
it is.
hosting Euro games.
Yeah.
The first leg ends 4-2 to North London at home. David Villa, Weber, Ozil and Dylan with the 4 goals.
Right.
And then the away return fixture ends 1-1. Mesut Ozil with the goal there, but you're through safely to the semi-finals. It says here, your 500th European goal. How have you kept that record?
Well, no, every single goal you see is so I can tell you, like at this moment, if I could sort out, because all the stats here have got into a bit of a mess.
We need to reprint them all.
We really need to reorder everything. But no, I've got every single match in Europe.
That is just the detail is just
the
crazy.
Detail is incredible, and I do it season by season.
Yeah.
So you can see, like, for example, this is the That'll be last
This is the one we looked at before.
Okay, champions for the 12th time, second year running.
Yeah.
And in that season, I played 13, won 8, drew 3, lost 1, scored 27 goals.
So
Club was my top scorer.
I can't believe this. Bob, by the way, does this all literally just on Microsoft Word, typed out. He doesn't use Excel or anything to add anything up for him. He just
it's so time consuming. I can't tell you.
One of the things I've seen about the last couple of games, Bob, is that Royston Drenthe is on the bench for these games.
Right.
And so here's a little thing for you.
Okay.
I went to the Netherlands recently to shoot the second division playoff final.
Yes.
And anyway, for their social media, but I run, talking to the guy who runs their social media called Niels, and I've been interviewed in a Dutch football magazine recently, and he saw the interview and was like, "Oh, look, your sort of hero player is Ruud van Nistelrooy," and he said he is involved in a podcast that's presented by Royston Drenthe.
Really?
And he said, maybe at some point we should try and do a little link up and you could have him on your podcast. And I was like, fucking really? Yes, of course we'd do that.
We would love to do that.
Speaking of Royston, how cool would that be?
Yeah,
Royston
and Ruud.
Well, and so that was the other thing is he said, I think Ruud's been a guest on that podcast before. So in a tenuous way, if Ruud van Nistelrooy ever wants to come on this podcast, that would be...
Team?
Yeah.
Team Wizard?
Yeah.
Can you organise this, please?
Let's tap up Ruud for a transfer.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you remember, Bob, but all my United kits when I was younger, they all had Van Nistelrooy in the back. He was always my favourite player when he was at United.
And,
what a fantastic goal scorer.
Sir Alex Ferguson didn't put many feet wrong through his career.
Yeah.
I mean, letting Jaap Stam go was the really big one. But I also thought, Ruud, that FA Cup final, seeing Ruud on the bench, it was slightly humiliating, and I don't think that was great because Ruud was better than that. He should have played in that match, and for him to sort of leave United under that cloud, and I've seen a couple of times, he's been back. And he's so elegant about the way that he was treated. He doesn't bear malice.
Yeah.
He talks about it very, very evenly with disappointment and sadness, yes, but without malice. And I think that United will always, always be in his heart. Because right at the beginning, do you remember the film of him getting that knee injury?
Oh, yeah, I know. Which because we were going to sign him a season before we actually did sign him because it was ligaments when he ruptured his ligaments so badly that we couldn't sign him for another year.
And the shout and scream of anguish. But Sir Alex said, it doesn't matter, we'll wait for you. And so he signed a year later when he was recovered from his knee injury.
Yeah.
And I think at a time, sort of 2004-05, when United weren't playing that well, it was Ruud that was keeping us in all the competitions.
Yeah. He was brilliant. I absolutely loved him.
Same.
And it's something that a lot of teams I think need these days. Arsenal being the main candidate for this. It's just somebody to score the goals. That's all he really did. I mean, he did link up play quite nicely, Ruud, didn't he? But really, he was there to bag 25, 30 goals a season, and he did it consistently all the time.
Oh gosh, if you put Ruud in the current Arsenal team,
he'd be scoring shed loads of goals.
Because that was the one thing Arsenal lacked. Was a number 9. I know the concept sounds a bit old-fashioned these days, but you do need that apex, don't you?
Always, I mean, it's the easiest and the most difficult thing to do in football, isn't it? It's just putting the ball in the back of the net. It's the only thing that counts, really.
Yeah. Football is a very, very, very simple game.
I know, isn't it? And here we are fucking talking about it for hours.
Yes.
It's funny. I do find the punditry funny because Catherine, my wife, says this as well, is that after the game, you'll sit there watching people talk about the game that you've just watched for another hour or so. Yeah. And then you'll go on YouTube and you'll watch the highlights and you'll watch analysis of people talking about it. It is funny.
I do have a bit of a thing about summarizers, second voice.
Yeah, I agree. I tell you who I think is really good, who's been on the coverage for ITV, I think, is Cesc Fabregas. I don't know whether you were watching him over the England game. I thought he was great.
Alan Shearer as well.
Yeah, I like Alan Shearer.
But mostly the summarizers are just telling you what you've just seen. So the commentators...
They're telling you what they've just seen in a regional accent.
Yes, that's true.
What they're there for.
Yeah. Well, he got the ball on the edge of the area and look, he put it 5 yards over the bar, and some of the phrase, he's got to score from the, but he had lots of bodies in the way.
Yeah.
Why is it that they're bodies and not players?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we could really go down this particular rabbit hole. It is a bit of a thing with me.
Yeah.
That so often 5 Live are so good at just having that single voice, one commentator.
Yeah.
Ian Dennis or John Murray. You don't need a second voice constantly interrupting with inanities, which is basically
right, yeah.
where we are.
Yeah,
I have to say.
I know it's an interesting one with summarisers because there are too many voices. I think
there are. Too many
what's
voices.
slightly annoying me about the Euros coverage? I can't remember whether I think it's on ITV. They've got like a sort of referee expert.
Oh yes,
who comes on and tells you about the decisions they're making. I'm like, do we need this really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do we need VAR really? I've
seen VAR being praised a fair bit actually. To be fair, this Euros because of the way it's been used. First of all, the semi-automated offsides are good. I think, because it's just that's cut and dry. You can see it, and it's very quick. But yeah. Anyway, Bob, I think you should choose
Moan-over.
Yeah, I think you should choose another player. For the Premier League goal scorers quiz, who's currently playing in the Euros.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Pick a team. Pick a nation,
right?
And we'll go through the squad, and we'll see which players of theirs have played in the Premier League at some point.
Well, I was going to go Phil Foden.
Oh, you're going to go Foden? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Foden.
Yeah.
That's I reckon he's probably scored more than you imagine. So it's me to guess first, isn't it? I think he scored. I'm going to just go flat 70.
Wow, as many as that.
He's been playing for quite a while, and
I don't want to get you to change your mind, Miles.
Got it. Yeah, I'll stick on 70.
I'm going to go
final answer.
49.
49. I think these are both good answers. I think we both could be somewhere near right.
Yeah.
Okay, Phil Foden. Here we go. Phil Foden. 54. There you go, Bob. There you go.
Whoa, I'm closing in on my first ever victory.
I was just banking on him having played already for quite a while.
Yes.
Because he's been amazing. He's made appearances since 2017 to 18. Considering how young he still is. How old is he actually right now? 22?
Yeah, 23 maybe. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been the last couple of seasons have been the only ones who's hit double digits. 54. So that's 2-1 to you, Bob.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. I think it's the first time I've even taken the lead, let alone.
Right, back to North London then, Bob.
Okay.
So, 11 games left.
Okay.
Top of the league by a point, so it was really, really tight at the top.
Yeah.
But a good performance coming up with an away victory over West Ham.
Okay.
5-1. Riquelme, Torres, Weber, Pato and Schweinsteiger. Fantastic attacking performance, it says here. Schweinsteiger scores his first goal for the club.
Yes.
Which is very good. However.
Whoa, what?
Another away game at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And it ends 2-0 to Arsenal. Defeat ends 29 game unbeaten run.
Wow.
So that's a big result. And then you follow that up with a home win against Newcastle 3-1. David Villa with 2 goals and Hofland from a corner, which means now United have overtaken you at the top of the table, but
they must be in sensational form.
But they have played 2 games more. So currently they're on 69 points. You're on 67, but you've got 2 games in hand.
Right.
So it is still in your hands.
Yes.
Arsenal then 5 points back from you, but they've played a game more too. So really, I think it is looking like a 2-horse race at this point. And so after, obviously, we were in the Champions League and you got the victory over Schalke over 2 legs.
Yes.
Guess who you're drawn against in the semi-final?
I don't know.
Manchester United.
Oh my goodness.
Ho.
Yeah.
This is big.
Yeah, this is huge, actually.
So the first leg is away at Old Trafford.
Yes.
The final score,
Yes.
Manchester United 4, North London 2.
Whoa.
It says, swept away by fantastic United performance. First time team has conceded 4 goals since the 5-4 United game in April 2008. Have now conceded 15 goals in the last 9 games.
So what was the back 4 then? How come
I was in goal, Booker, Hofland, Haynes and Bennett. So it looks pretty first choice.
First choice back 4.
Yeah.
And the 2 in front of them?
Weber and Hummels. And then you had Ozil right, Dylan left with Riquelme behind Villa.
Wow.
So it's a full strength team, I'd say, but it leaves a lot of work to do in the second leg.
Indeed.
Which we will come to shortly. But back to the league, Bob.
4-2.
I know.
Wow.
Back to the league.
How funny though that I must have gone back. I mean, how many years of my life
I know.
has this all taken up?
Yeah.
Because I must have gone back through every result to find the last time I led in 4. Mustn't I? Seriously, though, if I've gone back to 2008.
Yeah, to be fair, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Your brain capacity is maxed out by Northland. There's just no space for anything else, is there?
No.
Anyway, so then home against Chelsea, it's a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
Ozil with both goals, actually. And then a 3-2 win away at Spurs. Villa and Toklov with 2. You know what is good about the squad that you've got, Bob, is you've got Villa, Torres and Toklov, 3 really first choice strikers.
Yes.
And because you play a 4-2-3-1, you only ever really play one of them at a time.
Yeah.
So lots of goals there. Then Wolves at home, 1-0 win. So that leaves you...
Who scored the goal?
Toklov again. So that leaves you top of the league with a game in hand, a point ahead of Manchester United.
Right.
You've played 33, they've played 34. So it's looking like things are in your hands.
Yes.
But back to the Champions League, Bob. So can you remember what happened in the second leg? Do you think you overturned this 4-2?
I've no idea. I can't remember.
Okay, well...
This was 15 years ago, Miles.
Yeah. Okay, well... So,
late one evening.
Yeah.
I would have played this match.
So, semi-final second leg. So you have to score at least 2 goals, basically, don't you?
Yes. Without reply.
So Man United, 0.
Yes.
North London, 0.
So they're not...
That's it. It just... The little line at the bottom here, Bob, just says, eliminated, full stop. Create chances, but cannot score.
Whoa.
There you go.
So what was the team again then?
So it was me in goal, Booker, Hoffland, Haynes, Bennett, Webber. You played a 4-1-3-2 here, so you were trying to score goals.
Yes.
Webber in defensive mid, Ozil, Riquelme and Dillon with Toklov and Villa up front. But you can't do it.
Wow,
they keep you out. And you're
wow.
knocked out in the Champions League semis, Bob.
Yes.
So no Champions League for you this year.
No.
Unfortunately.
And it's us and them at the top of the Premier League table as well.
United,
this is,
really.
wow.
So, but I think, was this the season... Or was it the season before where we played Barcelona at Wembley in the Champions League final?
I think it was the season before.
Yeah.
That was Cristiano Ronaldo was still in the team, wasn't he?
Well, no. So the one against Barca, when Rooney scored the opening goal and everything was looking great, and then they ended up winning 3-1. I feel like it might have been this year or the year before. Anyway, so as it stands, United play 34 on 73 points. North London play 33 on 74 points. So, 5 games left of the season. But before we move on though, Bob, let's play another Premier League goal scorers quiz.
Okay.
So, I'll tell you what, this time, pick a team in the Euros and I'll pick a player from their squad to do the quiz on.
Okay. Well, I'll go Spain.
Spain, okay. Right, I'm going to go down to Spain's Euro 2024 squad. So, if we look at the outfield players who've played in the Premier League, Cucurella plays for Chelsea, obviously.
I really like the look of Spain.
Do you?
In the Euros, yeah. Them and Germany in the first. You can't discount Italy either. But if we were... the performance in the first round of matches...
Yeah.
If we were up against Germany or Spain in the form that they looked like they were in, if that makes sense, we'd really struggle to beat them.
Yeah, that's situational as well, isn't it, though? Because they were playing lesser teams to those. Yeah, you know. So, right. Joselu is in the Spain squad. He played for Stoke briefly and Newcastle.
Right.
I doubt he scored many goals. How about Morata? Because Morata was at Chelsea, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. That's a good shout.
Let's go Alvaro Morata then, Bob.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, he didn't score a lot of goals for Chelsea, did he? I mean, he scored quite a few, but it wasn't incredibly prolific.
And how long was he there for as well? I'm trying to think if he was there for more than a couple of seasons, really.
Yeah. I'm going to go 31.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to go slightly
say
less.
That with no certainty whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm reckon. Oh, I'm going to go.
How was that again, Miles?
I don't know. Yeah, this is my thinking noise. I'm going to go 22.
Okay.
What did you say, 31?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going 22.
Oh, come on.
Alvaro Morata for Chelsea.
Yes.
Scored 16. Wow, that's not
That's
great.
less than I would have thought.
That's not a great return. 16 goals in 47 apperances, which,
Oh, no.
All right, so 2-2 then, Bob. Wow, we're down to the last one here.
Decider.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We'll do the decider at the very end of the episode. But before then, let's find out how North London get on in the league.
Yes.
So, 5 games to go. Here we go.
Yeah.
You start it off with a 2-2 draw against Aston Villa, which is letting United in a bit.
Yeah, it is.
Do you pronounce it Gayax, that Swiss player?
Oh, yeah.
And Riquelme
Yep.
says another loose defensive display, 17 goals conceded in the last 10 games.
Yeah.
Point gained in title race as Man United lose to Arsenal. So actually, it's turned out to be quite a good result.
Yes.
Barnard foot injury, likely to keep him out for the rest of the season. So Ben Barnard, after making his first appearance only a few weeks ago, he's out.
Oh, bless him.
Ben, number 30, he's come through the youth academy, especially for this, Bob, and he's out now.
He's out now.
What a shame. So then, away game against Blackpool.
I wonder what would have happened that when I got the ball at my feet, something happened to Ben, but I must have stubbed my toe or something.
Yeah, you must have done tripped on the carpet or I don't know, something like that,
Yeah.
So away against Blackpool.
Yeah.
2-0 win, pretty routine. Ozil and Haynes.
Blackpool's still in the Premier League at that point.
Yeah. And this is a big one now, Bob. The next game is at home against Arsenal.
Yes.
And
do we avenge our previous defeat?
Well, listen to this. It's 1-1 up until the 93rd minute, where Dylan bags a winner, says lead at half-time against the run of play. Yes. Arsenal hit woodwork 5 times. Bad mistake by David Luiz to give away a goal. That doesn't sound like him. It's very realistic. Yeah. Huge Dylan Myers-Harris winner, it says here, which means you've now played 36 games, you're on 81 points. United have played 37, they're on 79. So a win in the next game, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that game is against Manchester City.
Oh God! This is before they got really good, though.
Yes,
but even so,
well, it ends North London 1, Manchester City 2.
What the hell?
Swamped by powerful first half City performance, says here. Fantastic revival, inspired by brilliant Haynes' 30-yard strike. Not enough to rescue the point needed to secure the title. So it all goes down
to the final game.
To the final game of the season, which is unbelievable.
Who are we playing?
You're playing Wigan at home.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So surely you'd think this is
well, I would have thought so. What the hell? Maybe I just got very nervous.
Yeah, you're going to shaky legs.
Yeah.
Right, Bob, are you ready for this?
Oh, no.
The final game of the season. So,
go on.
So going into this then,
yes.
You're on 81 points.
Yes.
And I guess United, I'm trying to work it out because there's not, they must be on 79, right?
Right.
So yeah, if you win, basically, you've won the league.
Yes, yeah. Who's got the best goal difference?
You have by a factor of 9.
Okay.
So you think it's pretty.
So I only need to draw.
So if you draw, actually, then it's fine.
Yeah.
The final score then.
Go on.
North London 0, Wigan Athletic 1.
What happened to us?
Tired team cannot compete with the energy of a Wigan team whose win saves them from relegation. Riquelme, Bedwell, Quaresma and Torres make their final appearances. First home Premiership defeat since Man United on the last day of the 2007-2008 season means Manchester United have pipped you to the league title on the final day of the season by a point.
It's a bit like Rory McIlroy in the American Open.
It is. What happened, Bob?
Yeah.
Two defeats in the last 2 games. You've crumbled, you've bottled it. I can't believe it. I've never seen the like of this in a North London season, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Just scroll down to the sequence, Miles.
Yeah. And
just see where we came, because there's an honours list right at the bottom of the sequence. Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So what does that say? So we're semi-final in the Champions League. Yeah. Runners-up in...
You did win the FA Cup.
We did win the FA Cup.
You're out in the 3rd round of the Carling Cup. So
okay, so if you look, you'll be able to find who we won against in the FA Cup.
Oh, Man City it was.
So we beat Man City in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, so you do claim the FA Cup.
So there was
2-1 in the FA Cup final, yeah. But in terms of what it was towards the end of the season, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the last 8 games, you lost 3 and drew 2. And that's where it all kind of unraveled.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think, because this is following the World Club Championship, isn't it?
Yeah.
It would have taken place the previous summer.
Yeah.
We're now obviously very, very deep into the following season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it must have been a case where the players just became exhausted.
There you go.
Yeah. Because perhaps the one thing as a manager that I used to do was I tended to keep the same 11 if I could.
Yeah.
So
not a lot of rest.
So they were,
Wow.
I think I probably learned my lesson and thought, right, I've got to rotate more next season. But to be pipped at the post like that...
I can't believe it, Bob.
No,
I can't believe it.
No.
You know, the last 2 games of the season, and you've not picked up a point against City and Wigan. I guess possibly City were avenging the FA Cup final, but
yes,
you think Wigan at home, but then they had to survive.
Although
relegation,
actually, the FA Cup final would have come afterwards.
Yeah.
So
you avenged them.
We would have got ourselves up for the cup final. So at least, you know, I'm reassured a bit by that.
Yeah.
But to lose the Premier League
by a point.
I
mean, all you needed to do was draw.
Yeah.
And Wigan beat you at home. I can't believe it, Bob.
It's a Rory McIlroy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a bottling.
And what about him? I mean, he said he's going to go away from golf for a long time now, just to kind of reset.
I'm shooting some golf in Scotland soon, so I hope he's back for that.
Oh, are you?
It'd be nice to shoot him in the flesh.
Yeah.
With a camera, not a gun. All right. So in terms of overall scorers then, Bob, goals were spread out across the team. Nobody really scored a shed load of goals this year. So Ozil and Villa were your joint top scorers with 17 each.
Right.
Riquelme got 16, Toklov 12, Torres
16
10.
from a midfield player is good,
from attacking mid. Well, I mean, 17 from Ozil.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great return as well.
I mean, what happened to Mesut Ozil? He, as a player of skill, he was sensational, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And yet, no team could really cope with him over any length of time.
I think he was probably at his best at Real Madrid, I guess, probably.
No, he's at his best at
well, of course. Sorry, in the real world, he was best at Real Madrid, yeah. But fantastic.
Because he was
player.
fantastic for North.
I was saying this on the podcast before, but have you seen him now? He's like he's stacked.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, you did say this.
Same as Fernando Torres, actually. 2 of the players in this team. Torres is it looks like a bodybuilder now.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so there we go, Bob. So,
okay.
Who cares about North London throwing away the league title when we've got the Premier League goal scorers quiz to round up?
Absolutely.
So,
go on.
It's your choice, isn't it? Because I think I chose Morata last time. So,
okay.
Think of a player in the Euros right now who's been in the Premier League at some point, and we've got to guess how many goals they've scored.
Okay. Well, I'm actually going to go Cole Palmer.
Okay. Right. Let me think about this.
Yeah.
So because he didn't really score that many for City, did he? Before he broke through, and then this year for Chelsea has been big. So I'm gonna say 27.
Yes, I'm going to say 25.
All right, this is tight. This is to claim victory.
Decider. Oh no.
Cole Palmer, here we go. Right. So 27 for me.
Yeah.
25 for you, wasn't it?
Yes.
Ready?
Oh no.
22. You did it, Bob.
Yes. I've won one.
He scored 22 goals for Chelsea this season, and that's all the goals he scored.
That's great.
I thought he would have scored 1 or 2 for City, but it must have been in cup competitions. So there you go.
There we are then, Miles.
Congratulations, my friend.
So what's the overall score now? 5-1.
Something like that. I've had to go back to it. But Bob has claimed victory for the first time in the Premier League goals.
Yes.
Well done. Well, there you go. Yeah, 52 appearances, 22 goals, 12 assists he's made. So
we're not competitive in any way, by the way.
I can't believe he never scored a Premier League goal for Chelsea.
I know.
That's actually
for City, you mean?
Sorry, yes, for City.
Yeah.
But well, there we go.
There we are.
Finishes the
a triumphant end to the show.
Well, see, what it was, Bob, is I knew you'd be disappointed about North London throwing away the title, so I thought I'd let you win the last one. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you everybody for listening and for watching. Please do follow us on socials, by the way, and get involved on there at A Game of No Halves on all social media platforms. We post little clips of the podcast along with little tidbits that our editor Richard brilliantly designs, like some special player cards and stuff. So do give us a follow on there. If you're enjoying the podcast, rate us 5 stars and subscribe. And also, we put video versions of the podcast out on YouTube as well, so just search for us on there. Yes. And you can see our gorgeous faces as well, Bob, can't you?
Yes. Well, speak for yourself, Miles.
Any parting words for the audience?
Well, yes, I do.
Go on then.
In that we also, although I won't go into all the details, but we have some great guests coming up.
We do.
It's been a little while. We got way into the series, but we've got some really special guests coming up. So stay tuned, and over the next 2 or 3 weeks, you'll discover who they are. We're setting up a huge recording session in London where some of our friends are coming in to join us. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned indeed. Thank you all for listening and for watching. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.
Bye.